Hey guys, what's up? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another Top 10. Today we're talking about my top 10 Super Nintendo games. I still remember getting my first Super Nintendo. It was bundled with Super Mario World, and from the first time I played it, I fell in love. Now you're playing with power. Super power! Don't give me that Genesis does what Nintendo don't mess. At the time, I didn't need any of that blast processing from Sega. Although I later got a Sega Genesis, and I loved that system also, the Super Nintendo had plenty of great games to keep me busy up until then. But today, I'm just going to talk about my top 10. I feel like I'll say this every time, but this is my list. Obviously, everyone's not going to agree, so let me know what some of your favorite Super Nintendo games are in the comments down below. Also, narrowing this down to just 10 isn't easy, so I'm sure I'm going to leave some really great games out. Anyway, let's get to it. Number 10, Super Mario Kart. This is the first in the series that is still going strong today. This game redefined racing games. Up until Mario Kart, you always just had the same goal of getting to the finish line before everyone else. But with Mario Kart, you could get power-ups and weapons to use against the other drivers, and it added an entirely new element to the race. This also made multiplayer highly addicting. There was no better feeling than when your friend was ahead of you, almost to the finish line, and you were able to hit them with a shell and steal the win from them. Number 9, Super Castlevania IV. By the time the SNES was released, the Castlevania series had already made a name for itself, and was known for having great platforming action and an awesome soundtrack. As a reimagining of the first Castlevania, Super Castlevania IV was no different. Now, you could experience the story of Simon Belmont and his quest to defeat Count Dracula all in 16 bits. With its detailed graphics, smooth controls, and haunting soundtrack, Super Castlevania IV is one of the best action platformers on the Super Nintendo. Number 8, Mega Man X. Prior to this entry, there were 6 Mega Man games on the NES. Mega Man X took everything good about the previous installments and improved them. It introduced new characters and new mechanics such as the wall jump and the dash. The character sprites were gorgeous, and the rock soundtrack complemented the fast-paced gameplay perfectly. This game is considered to be the best Mega Man game among a lot of fans. Number 7, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4: Turtles in Time. The Super Nintendo had plenty of beat-em-ups to choose from, and Turtles in Time is one of my favorites. You and a friend could travel through time to wreck Shredder's plans while fighting tons of enemies along the way. Although it differed some from its arcade version, Turtles in Time was a great home console port. I played this game a ton growing up, and I still remember how cool it was the first time I threw a foot soldier into the screen. Number 6, Final Fantasy III. Final Fantasy is my favorite series of games. Sure, the series has had its ups and downs, but no one can deny that Final Fantasy III, originally 6 in Japan, is a masterpiece. Even though this game is on a 16-bit console, the way the story is told makes it feel just as cinematic as some modern games in full HD. The story and characters are memorable, the soundtrack is fantastic, and this game features one of the greatest video game villains of all time. Number 5, Super Mario World. As I said earlier, this game came with the Super Nintendo, and it immediately got me hooked. By this time, we already had several other great Mario games to play, but Super Mario World was unlike any of the others. It had a huge level map with plenty of secrets to find, and it also introduced Yoshi. My only complaint about this game is the cape flying mechanic. I wish they would have stuck with the raccoon costume from Super Mario Bros. 3. Other than that, this game is a perfect platformer. The graphics are gorgeous, the music is amazing, and the levels offer just the right amount of challenge. Number 4, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. What? A Link to the Past is number 4? Okay, let me explain myself. I love the Zelda series, and I love this game. However, I just wouldn't consider myself a die-hard fan. I think there are better games on the Super Nintendo than this one. With that being said, there is no denying the impact that this entire series has had on video games, and many consider this to be the best Legend of Zelda game ever made. It is an incredible action-adventure game with awesome gameplay and a fantastic soundtrack. I'd say that everyone needs to play this game at least once. Number 3, Chrono Trigger. I love RPGs and I am a sucker for time travel stories. The time travel in this game is so fun to experience and play through, and the many different paths you can take keeps the replayability high. There are 13 different endings, which are determined by the choices you make during your adventure. This game is just beautiful. The gameplay is nearly flawless, and of course, the soundtrack is amazing. If you enjoy RPGs at all, you have to play this one. Number 2, Super Metroid. Super Metroid is a bit different than all of the other entries on this list. While I grew up playing all of the other games in this video, I only finally played Super Metroid just a few years ago. I don't really know why, but it's just a game that I never got around to playing, and man, was I missing out. I can honestly say that Super Metroid is one of the most fun games I've ever played. Exploring its huge map never feels like a chore. The atmosphere is simply perfect and the gameplay is flawless. Okay, before we move on to number 1, I have to do some honorable mentions. There are just too many great games on the SNES, and it would be a disservice to not at least acknowledge some of them. So, here goes. The Adventures of Batman and Robin, the Super Star Wars series, Killer Instinct, Aladdin, The Lion King, Earthworm Jim, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, Super Punch-Out, Earthbound, Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, Star Fox, Final Fight, Batman Returns, The Death and Return of Superman, and so many more. And finally, number 1, Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest. I love the Donkey Kong Country series, especially the 3 on the Super Nintendo. Platformers are probably my favorite type of game to just pick up and play. I love the simplicity of just traveling from the left side of the screen to the right, searching for collectibles, jumping on enemies, making insane jumps, and progressing through sections that require expert timing. I would argue that Donkey Kong Country 2 is one of the best platformers out there. It took everything that was great about the original Donkey Kong Country and improved it, specifically getting rid of Donkey Kong and replacing him with Dixie Kong. Although I guess Donkey was the main character, I really never enjoyed playing as him. Playing as Diddy always felt better, and with Dixie's added gliding ability, DKC2 just increases the gameplay value that much more. There are some challenging levels in this game, and it's really fun trying to hunt down all of the collectibles to go for that 102% completion rating. Lastly, I can't talk about any Donkey Kong Country game without mentioning the music, which was composed by the genius David Wise. Every level is accompanied by a soundtrack that fits perfectly into that level. My favorite tracks from the series are Sticker Brush Symphony from DKC2 and Aquatic Ambience from DKC1. I can put either one of those on repeat for hours and never get tired of them. Okay, that's my list. Let me know in the comments below what some of your favorite Super Nintendo games are. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also head over to twitch.tv/Bruce Butler, where I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.